So today's video is going to be a little bit different. Normally, most of my videos are about bench rest shooting, techniques, firearm equipment reviews, and those sort of things. And those videos I love making. But today I really want to share something personal. Now, I really want to make something clear that this video is not about sympathy. It's not about anything like that. Because I want to share this story because I want to show anything is possible. It really is. Anything is possible. Sport really started back when I was a kid, when I was 10 years old. And, you'd be probably really surprised, but when I was 10 years old, I started in competitive swimming. And that lasted until about 18 years old. And it was awesome. It really was. Like the amount of things that I achieved and the things that I got to do during that period of my life was simply amazing. Most people think, it's just swimming. But, I was able to represent Australia. I was able to travel around, see different parts of the world, such as South America and South Korea and, many other different places around the world. And I was even able to pick up a few world records as well. So, it's an amazing achievement that I was able to do, be able to achieve those things. Really high level taught me, really taught me discipline and how to focus on the tasks at hand. And pushing through those challenges really gave me some wonderful life qualities that I never realized when I was 18. I was 18, I was silly, and, most 18-year-olds are. But those skills would stay with me until now. I'm in my late 30s, and those skills that I picked up when I was swimming have crossed over to bench rest shooting. It brought a new sense of really new sense of purpose back on the days that are challenging. Physically demanding sport to precision shooting, it might be a bit weirded out about that crossover. Like, how does that work? Is also about endurance. To this new sport with my disability has both been really, really challenging and, of course, really, really rewarding. Every time I go to the range, it's a problem-solving day. Whether it's just stabilizing my rifle, figuring out ways to make height adjustments, those sort of things, those sort of challenges that you need to face every single time. And, I love it. And it really is all about finding what works for me. Certainly has uncovered a lot of unique challenges for me. When I first started, one of the hardest things I had to overcome was how am I going to find equipment that is going to suit my needs? And like when I first started, I was trying some really interesting things, trying to figure out a way. I remember my first front rest was a little tripod with a like a forehand grip on it, and every time that I shot, the whole rest would jump and everything like that. And in bench rest shooting, even those smallest things can, change your shots, as having that consistency is really, really important with shooting. And if you don't have a stable platform, then it's going to be very challenging to have accuracy, everything comfortable. Because, when you're shooting, you just don't want anything, you don't want to be uncomfortable. Now I'm nearly 40, I'm more built for comfort, not for speed. Back in the day, it was all about rush, 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 but now it's all about let's kick back, enjoy the air conditioning, relax, have a beer, those sort of things. You just want to take your time. And, one of the simplest things that I've found to overcome like a big, big challenge when adjusting the course height adjustment on my front rest. Now, when I first started with the tripod, obviously there was no adjustment. Then I moved to the Cordwell fire control. Now that, it was a good rest. It worked well, but I couldn't really manage it on my own. If I had to make an adjustment, I'd have to keep asking people to help. And look, I understand, people are wonderful and they really are. But I want to do it on my own. this is a challenge and I want to do it on my own and I want to figure it out. How am I going to do this? And, you know, for a problem that I thought was so big, the solution was so simple. You know, the solution was crazy, crazy simple. Literally a piece of stick with an Allen key on it. Now, one of the guys at the range, he was so good. He created this for me. He goes, hey, I see, you know, this is your problem. I think this will fix it. Now, you may have seen this on my other videos, and you know, it might seem a little bit out of place. You know, like why would he have like a piece of stick on a firing bench? You know, but what people think, I don't really care, because it gives me the independence to be able to go out and enjoy the sport. If that little modification allows me to overcome a massive challenge, then so be it. You know, let's get on with it. Let's enjoy the sport. It gives just those little challenges and little changes makes a huge impact in what I'm doing, and it gives me the confidence and, you know, the motivation to keep moving forward. Same as YouTube. You know, YouTube is a wonderful place, but, you know, this is another thing that I love about being a content creator, is that there's a lot of challenges, and every time I make a video there is a new challenge. Like even this one that I'm creating, you know, while I was sitting at the computer, you know, I wanted to make this video, but obviously, you know, I want to make it look a little bit nice. You know, bring a light over and, you know, get everything set up, microphone, those sort of things. You know, these sort of challenges are unique, and you know, absolutely love it. It's made a huge, huge impact within my journey is the community, whether it's at the range. You know, I'm you know, I go to a few ranges that I enjoy shooting at, whether it's the people on YouTube. The Bentrust community is really amazing. It's the first place that I really feel that I belong. And when I was really first going to it, I wasn't sure how welcoming everybody is, and you know, like the stigma behind shooting. Everybody goes, it's a bit clicky and a bit hoity-toity and all those sort of things. Well, you know, I want to say, just, you know, thinking back to the first time that I went to the range. Now, you know, I do have a support worker, and you know that's fine, but he made some phone calls for me, and you know, because I just floated the idea past him and said, hey, you know, like, how about we try shooting? You know, like that's something that I'm interested in. That's something that I'd like to participate in, but you know, I really lacked the confidence to go on my own. You know, I needed that support. So he made the phone calls and made all the arrangements and did everything like that. And the day came. You know, we off to the range we went, and we turned up to the range, and I thought, oh, here we go. Oh boy, I'm not really liking this. You know, I felt extremely nervous. I felt a little bit worried. I felt anxious. You know, all those emotions were inside me, and you know, I sat in the car. I didn't want to get out, and I knew to the fact that, you know, he'd pretty much have to drag me out kicking and screaming. And anyway, he convinced me to hop out of the car and go over and say hello. And at that point in time, obviously, you know, I didn't have a firearms license, because here you can go to a gun club and you can have a try. You know, there's paperwork, so you don't really need to worry about having a license for the first time. And you know, I met the range officer. I thought, here we go. This guy's going to stick to me like Velcro. You know, he ain't going to leave me alone, because I have this idea in my head of what people perceive that I'm going to do, or my abilities. So that has certainly been a barrier. And he set me up with the CZ 457, and you know, he was standing there watching, and a few shots later, I was like, "This is awesome! This is so awesome!" You know, absolutely loved every single second of it. And you know, really to my surprise, you know, he was, you know, extremely accommodating and friendly and everything like that. And, he treated me like as a regular shooter. And because I thought he was going to stick to me like Velcro, I was even more surprised when he actually said, "Nah, you're all good, mate," and literally walked off, down the other end of the range to talk to other shooters and everything like that. And that was a huge boost to my confidence. That was huge, knowing that he felt confident in my ability to be able to participate in the sport without him being on me that was massive, that he trusted my ability. Really, really, it's ingrained deep into my heart, and it has meant a lot to me. That particular day with that particular range officer, that really turned the tide. And, I really felt like it was an environment that gave me that confidence that I could keep going back and continue to challenge myself, because I like challenges. So I thought, oh, this is going to be fun. So back I went for the next week, and again and again and again. Since then, I've met so many fantastic people, whether it's online or face to face. I've offered so much advice and, shared techniques. And, some of the guys at the range, we could chat for hours, hours and hours and hours about shooting and day-to-day things, or, I might float some ideas about a challenge that I might be facing. And connecting with people is extremely important when you're trying to overcome challenges. And YouTube as well. Content creators like Cyclops Joe and Pursuit of Accuracy and, Josh over there. And, other people like No Pro and Chris Lang. There's so many people out there, which have, been a huge help, whether it's advice or just their support. It truly is amazing. And it really has been an invaluable part of my journey in the sport. Really has. Challenges in your day-to-day lives, know that there's always a way forward. Think of it this way. This is the way I think about it. It's 24 hours in a day, and you come across a challenge, or for the people watching this video, you might come across a troll. That troll is going to leave a comment on your video. How long does it take to read that comment? Literally 30 seconds, if that. Why would you let a 30-second troll ruin your entire day? Don't worry about it. Keep moving forward. There's always people out there that are supportive, and are always out there that are going to be with you no matter what. Keep moving forward. Keep adapting. I'm a prime example of that. I keep adapting and keep pushing forward. And no matter what you are doing in your life, if you truly are passionate, if you really are passionate, nothing's going to hold you back. Nothing. Nothing is going to hold you back.